All right, folks, buckle up. I just got back from Germany. Yeah, the land of Oktoberfest, giant beers, and lederhosen, where everyone's all serious and efficient like they got quota meat on bratwurst. So I thought, hey, this'll be fun. I'll soak up some culture. Maybe try a pretzel, a schnitzel, something normal. Little did I know I was about to dive into the culinary Twilight zone. So I'm talking mystery meats, foods that sound like medical procedures, and ingredients that should come with a hazard warning. I show up all excited thinking I know what German food is. I mean, how crazy could it be? A sausage here, a sauerkraut there. No big deal, right? Wrong. Let me tell you, the Germans got dishes that make New York pizza by the slice look like a Michelin meal. I've eaten street food from some sketchy hot dog carts, but nothing prepared me for this. First thing they hit me with, blood sausage. I thought it was a joke. I'm sitting there looking at a nice looking plate and they're like, yeah, that's real pig blood mashed up in there. Guys, in New York, blood is something you get taken out of your urine by a nurse. In Germany, they're slicing it up and put it on your dinner plate. And they call it Todoma, which, get this, translates to dead grandma. Nothing like a comforting dish named after a corpse to after your meal, right? So I thought, all right, let's dial it down. Grab a sandwich or something normal. Enter, Mettbrötchen. This thing's a nice crusty roll with a big old slab of raw minced pork on it. Raw pork with onions on top so your breath and your stomach can have a little wrestling match. Where I'm from, raw pork is not a meal. It's an emergency. In Germany, it's lunch! Oh, and the weirdness does not stop there, my friends. You got sour kidneys. Yeah, kidneys. And they're soaked in vinegar, which I guess is supposed to make them better. Kidneys, for those of us who didn't skip biology, are filters. Filters like a burrito, but worse. And they're sitting there proudly, like, hey, these are the finest filters we found in the pig. Like, that's supposed to make me hungry. And then they got this thing up north called Grünkohl mit Pinkel. First of all, Pinkel. That's a food name? It sounds like a health issue. Turns out it's a sausage made from pork fat and oats, and it's served with kale so tough it's probably benching weight in the bag. This isn't a meal. It's like something you'd feed a lumberjack in the 1800s. And don't get me started on cuddle. That's cow stomach chopped up and cooked. Apparently, the Germans would look at a cow's 4 stomachs and went, yep, that's dinner for a week. But the best one, the grand finale, is called Schwarzsauer. Sounds fancy, right? Wrong. It's blood again. But this time they mix it with vinegar and call it a sauce. A blood sauce, people. This isn't a meal, it's a crime scene. And just when I thought I'd seen it all, they go, oh, try heaven and earth. I thought, all right, heaven and earth. How bad can that be? Let me tell you, it's mashed potatoes, applesauce, and blood sausage. What kind of biblical apocalypse is going on in their kitchens over there? And the Germans, they're just sitting there grinning like, it's good, ja. You like it. I mean, I survived, sure. But next time, I'm craving a taste of Germany. I'm sticking with the pretzel. And listen, folks, if you think the food's wild, wait till you see the drinking culture over there. I'm not talking Friday night. Let's go out and grab a few drinks. Drinking. No, I'm talking Tuesday morning. Just finished my grocery shopping. Better crack open a beer. Drinking. Over there. Beer is like water, maybe even more essential. You see a guy walking his dog at 10 a.m.? with a giant bottle of Pilsner and nobody bats an eye. It's like the dog came with a beer as a package deal. And get this, they even have a thing called beer o'clock. You know when it is? Anytime. So, I'm over there, and I'm seeing stuff like people having a beer with breakfast. Yeah, breakfast. They're sitting there, slicing up bread, slathering on jam, and just casually sipping a cold one. And this is not like some after-hours bender, okay? This is like 7 a.m., bright and early. Like it's coffee. You try doing that in New York and see how fast they slap an intervention on you. So, I'm at this kid's Jugendweihe. That's like, I don't know, their version of a Sweet 16 or a confirmation. Everyone's dressed up. It's a whole thing. And then the kid, we're talking like 14, 15 years old, gets handed his first glass of wine by his parents. In America, the first time a parent hands you a drink, it's because you're 21 and they're still giving you a don't screw this up speech over there. They're like, welcome to adulthood, son. Have a beer. And hey, speaking of welcome to adulthood, once that poor kid has his first sip of wine, he's officially on the path to his real initiation. German bureaucracy. Yeah, it turns out once you can hold a wine glass, you're ready to hold about 12 pounds of paperwork. You get welcomed by a wall of paperwork so thick, it probably has its own address. I swear, there's more paperwork in Germany than people hold. All right, so I need to get a parking permit in Germany. Simple, right? I mean, just want to park my rental car. So I go to what I think is the right office. I got my ID, my rental contract. I'm ready. I step up to the counter, and the woman behind it looks at my papers. There. And she sighs and says, 999. You need form blood 27B from the Straßenverkehrsamt. All right, sure. What's the Straßenverkehrsamt? I ask her. She points at me down the street. Says it's the second building on the left. So I head over, find the building, step in, and guess what? It's the wrong office. Not even close. I ask the next guy, and he just shrugs and tells me I need to go to public order, where they handle pre-permissions. But of course, I got to go to 142 in that building? Fine. Now I'm basically sightseeing my way across town looking for this room 142. By the time I get there, there's a line of people that looks like they're waiting for concert tickets. So I wait. 45 minutes later, I finally get to the front, and the guy behind the counter just sighs at me like, you poor American. He goes, no, before you can apply, you need to get proof of residence at the registration office. Proof of residence. I've been here for 3 days. But all right, I head over to the next office. I finally find it. And they tell me I need a certified copy of my rental agreement. So I trudge back across town to the rental office only to discover that they're closed for lunch. For 2 hours. Fast forward, I wait, I get my agreement stamped. Then I go back to the registration office. I get my proof of residence, head back to the public order building, finally get my application approved. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm almost there. Nope. Now I gotta head back to the first office I started at to submit it all. I hand in this mountain of paperwork, and the guy barely looks at it, just stamps it. He goes, all right, now you can go apply for the actual parking permit. But you'll need to pay the fee at the finance office. They only take cash. Which, by the way, is another building on the opposite side of town. And it closes in 15 minutes. So yeah, folks, we're a full day touring every government building in town. I finally get my car legally parked. And by then, I've racked up enough parking tickets to basically buy a new car. All right, so let's talk about German communication style. Let's just say, subtle is not exactly the word I'd use. In the States, we got this nice little dance we do. We'll say things like, hey, if it's not too much trouble, could you maybe, and oh, just wondering if it'd be possible. You know, only if you have time. All that good stuff. Well, in Germany, they skip the dance. They jump straight to the truth. It's like a verbal cold shower, efficient and direct, wakes you right up. Like, imagine you're showing a German friend a new shirt you bought. In the States, someone might say, "Oh, that's really unique, very interesting," which we all know means burn it. A German, though, they'll take one look and go, "This color, it does not look good on you." Just flat out, bam. No filter. I asked one of my German friends if my haircut looked okay, and he goes, "It makes your head look rounder." Not even a hint of irony, just delivering the facts like it's a weather report. Today's forecast is weird hair. And God help you if you casually ask a German, "Hey, how's it going?" In the US, that's just a polite throwaway, right? We're expecting, "Oh, fine, thanks." And you, simple, everyone's happy. You try that in Germany. You better have some time on your hands. You say, "How's it going?" And they'll look at you all serious and go, "Oh, actually, things have been difficult. Work is stressful. My back hurts. My neighbor's dog barks every morning." And then they'll just keep going. They're ready to really share. Asking, "How's it going?" is like opening up a whole episode of German life. Uncut. But they're not trying to be rude. No, they just take honesty seriously. I mean, I was at a cafe trying to order in my broken German. I asked the waitress if my pronunciation is okay, and she goes, "No. Just no." And listen, they're formal too, in the States. We're all about first names. Everyone's a buddy, a pal, you know. In Germany, I tried calling someone by their first name, and they look at me like I just tried to steal their wallet. They're like, "It's Mr. Miller." And this guy's my age. Turns out, if you call someone by their first name too soon, they act like you're getting a little too friendly, like, "Easy there, buddy. We're not family. Just stick to Herr Miller for now." So yeah, Germans are honest. You ask how they're doing, and suddenly, you know their medical history. Meanwhile, you're just standing there with a beer in one hand and a plate of blood sausage in the other, wondering where it all went wrong.